fit into our pot. Like that, and it's going to have a nice, very, very, very snug, tight fit. Our 6 kilo goose. Okay, so we're going to start it off high on 220, and then we're going to turn it down low to 140 and cook it for the following 3 hours. So let's hope for the best that it works. And fits in the oven. So I've got the goose out of the oven. It's been in the oven for about 3.5 hours. I had a bit of an explosion at the back, but the front is still really nice and brown. I brushed it with honey and a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and so it's nice and crisp there. And then the back exploded a bit, but it's ready. So what I'm going to do now is take it off or out of this pot and put it on to a warming platter, and then I'm going to make the base vegetables into our sauce. So what we've got there, I'm just going to take some of that fat off the actual vegetable and then put on the reduced stock that I had into the vegetables, and then I'm going to puree it all together to make a thick, rich sauce and put lots of chopped parsley in it at the end. So everyone's here, and the sauce, I poured the original sauce into the bottom of the vegetables that the goose cooked in. So now I'm going to puree all of that together. And then I'll just bring it to the boil one more time and then finish it with parsley. So the goose is finished. It's nice and brown and the skin's crispy. So what I'm going to do now is just take the legs off. It's been resting for about half an hour, and it's really lovely and soft. Just take the other leg off there as well. Okay, so I've taken the legs off, and this one I've broken into 3 pieces, and then I'll also break this one into 3 pieces. So just cutting it on the joint, so the leg's there, and then just cutting the thigh into 2 pieces as well. And you can see it's still nice and juicy, and the fat's just started to render off there, so it's stayed nice and moist throughout the cooking process. And then bringing your knife down the edge of the spine and cutting down towards the back of the wing as well, and just running the knife along the back of the rib cage, breaking it there, and then just taking it away from the rib cage. And mind you, it has been resting for about half an hour. It's still very, very hot, so just be aware that it's hot. And then cutting just where, again, where the joint meets, the actual bird cage there. cutting one of the wings off and then just cutting the breast into pieces, and you can see that it's still nice and moist. I'm just cutting it into pieces that everyone can take, and the stuffing just on top of the breast there's kept the breast nice and moist as well, so you can see the moisture that's actually in the breast still. It's not really dry. And then if you want to come around and just have a look at the sauce. So the sauce is now boiling. I've pureed it completely and then just finishing it off with lots of parsley and mixing that through. So again, that's the vegetables, the stock and everything that's been pureed through. It's still a little bit chunky, but that's okay. And there's no flour or anything added to that, so you've got a really lovely thick sauce to finish off the bird with. So we're going to start eating our Christmas lunch, or our Boxing Day lunch, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good tips out of this, because I've learnt from watching a lot of other people do it, and this is the first time that I've done it. And it's Christmas in Germany, but cooking by an Australian. Thank you.